Welcome to today's video. In this video, we'll see how to add custom validations to a reactive form. First I'll start by adding a required field validation, which is an inbuilt validation. So first we'll see how to add a required field validation. Once we are aware of how to add the required field validation, then we'll see how to add a custom field validation. The reason for showing the required field validation first is because the process of using both these validations, it's pretty much the same. Required field validation, it's already there inbuilt. Custom validation, we need to write some code to use to put that custom validation into action. I already have a reactive form inside which I am using an Angular multi-select dropdown. So on press of the button, we'll validate whether this thing selections have been made or not. So I'll go to the code here. Inside the code, this is where I'm initializing my reactive form. So here, where we have defined that particular field value, we can add a validator. So reactive forms have a couple of inbuilt validators like required, one of the examples. So we'll simply use the required field validator here, and we'll add a message here, star required. So we'll show this message when the form has been touched and when form.get grocery, that particular field, it has some errors, and when this particular error is a required field error, that can be found, like if it's a required field error, we'll have required inside this error, required object key inside this error. So I'll just save it, go to the form here, I'll refresh it, I'll press the button. Here it will show it's a required field. Now let's try to implement a custom field validations. As you can see here in this, we can make any number of selections here. So the custom validation that we are going to implement, it will show an error message like when we have more than 2 selections. So what I'll do is I'll go to my app.component, and here I'll add a method called length validator. This will accept a form control. Now we'll add this validation here. This dot length validator. Now what happens is, like when this function is called, we get our control inside here. So if control dot value and control dot value dot length is greater than 2, we'll return length error object. To return a length error object, inside we'll have the length control dot value dot length. Now we can now you need to go to the app.component.html and create a span for validating this one. So max 2 selections allowed, and this all remains same. We just go to the end where errors dot required. It will be length validator is shown, it will be len error. So we just copy it and just paste it instead of required. Just save it, and you need to go to your form, refresh. Now if you can see, if I press the button, it's a required field validator that's being thrown. Now if I make some selections, that required field validator, it goes away. Now if I try selecting a couple of things, like 2 selections, then nothing shows up, and now 3, you can see a max 2 selections allowed. So this is how you implement custom validation in Angular reactive forms. Hope you find this video useful. So that's all for the video. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down the video. Thanks for watching.